All right, here we are, and we'll take a moment just to settle ourselves. We'll do a grounding practice today. We'll do some core and just see where that leads us, where it takes us. Maybe do a few shoulder rolls here at first to allow yourself just to feel where you're at when we start our practice. I like to sometimes do a very light, gentle twist. So really, I'm not twisting too far, but just noticing how the spine feels at the beginning of class, maybe even kind of a cow cat with the chest and the spine. So we're going into extension and flexion of the spine. And then maybe a little side stretch to the left. Take a deep breath into that right lung. And then a little side stretch to the right, taking a deep breath into the left lung. And we'll come to our seat. And notice, are we sticking our chin out a little? Do we need to bring our chin in just a bit so the back of the neck can remain long? If it feels grounding to close your eyes, please do. If it feels better to look around the room or keep the eyes downcast, please do. And we'll just notice where our breath is, our natural breath without changing anything. Do you feel it in your throat or your chest or your back, your belly? Just notice. We'll also notice the quality of the breath, and by that I mean, is the breath shallow or deep, short, long? Is the breath kind of choppy or smooth, warm or cool, or a little bit of it all? Allowing ourselves to notice any sensation in the body as it arises in our awareness and as it falls from our awareness, kind of like the rise and fall of the breath, the rise and fall of the ocean waves, even the rise and the fall of the wind. And is this the first time today that you've taken an opportunity to be present with your body, with your breath, what you're actually feeling right now? Whenever I hear the request of being grounded, I always think what we're really seeking is presence, the ability to perhaps be out of our head and into our body more, to connect with the physical body and the element of earth within us, and of course, this beautiful, precious earth, the land of the Coast Salish people, Tulalip tribe here on Whidbey Island, Duwamish in Seattle, wherever you're from, wherever you're at when you're viewing this, you might take a moment to honor the First Nations people. And then allowing our awareness to rise all the way to the crown of the head. Again, the back of the neck might come long, the shoulders might go down just a little. Imagine wearing a crown. What would that feel like? What would it be like? Would it be a crown of flowers or leaves? Would it be a crown of jewels, metal? What's your crown look like? Connecting with our inherent dignity and fundamental worthiness, all of us across all lines of difference, with the birthright to feel an innate sense of belonging in the skin we're in the shape we're in all of our identities. Take up our rightful space, which is not taking up more than anyone else, but creating space inside ourselves allows us to share space in a more equitable way. If we're marginalizing parts of ourselves, easy for us to marginalize others. If we're inviting in all of who we are, perhaps that's where it begins for us to be more inclusive in the world. And palms to our own heart in any shape that feels potent to you right now. May this practice be an offering to ground us and settle our nervous system. And in our small way, that helps us to show up better for ourselves, for each other, for the work we do in the world, for our deeper purpose, and for all those we love. And one Om together, deep breath in. Ah. All right, my dears, we'll come to our backs, And as we come to our backs, we set ourselves up here for some core. At first, you might just bend your knees, feet flat, and you might kind of rock your knees side to side. And just kind of feel into the low back, feel into the core, into all the things before we begin. How's the spine feeling? How's the core feeling? And then we'll draw our knees in and lift our legs up. And for a moment, again, you might wiggle the hips, you might feel the low back, you might feel the core. Bend your knees, interlace your fingers behind your head. At first, the head will stay down, shoulder blades broad, draw the belly in, and we'll tap our toes toward the floor. Inhale back to center, knees go toward the right, up toward the elbow, stay to the right, and bring them toward the floor. Woohoo! Feel those obliques. Inhale back to center, over to the left, just a little. Bring them up toward your chest and then away from you. So down toward the floor, draw the belly in. Inhale back to center. Exhale toward the floor, belly in. Inhale back to center. Exhale, knees toward the right, up toward the elbow, and then away from you, like you're gonna bring them down toward the floor. You might feel the opposite oblique, which I really find interesting. Inhale back to center, and then toward the left. First up toward the elbow, you'll probably feel the left oblique, and then try to bring them away, draw the belly in. You might feel the right oblique, the stabilizing muscles. Inhale back to center, toes toward the floor. Inhale back to center, knees toward the right, up toward the elbow, and then belly in, away from you. Inhale back to center, knees toward the left, up toward the elbow, and then away from you. Belly in a lot. Inhale back to center and toes toward the floor. Now inhale back to center, curl head, neck, and shoulders up. Right elbow, left knee straighten the right leg. Inhale back to center. Left elbow, right knee straighten the left leg. Inhale back to center and switch. Inhale back to center and switch. Inhale back to center and switch. Inhale, center and switch. Inhale, center and switch. Inhale, center and switch. Inhale back to center. Put your head down, put your feet down. And then if you have a pillow or a block, place it between your thighs. The legs are going to go up. So our head is going to stay down, but you might support it with your hands, interlacing them behind your head. We're going to squeeze whatever we have between our legs. So with straight legs, we'll try it. Take the knees slightly to the right, up toward the elbow, and then away from you. Squeeze. Inhale back to center, over to the left, squeeze, up toward the elbow, and then away from you. Inhale back to center, squeeze the block, lower the legs toward the floor. Inhale up, legs toward the right, just a little bit. Squeeze the pillow up toward your elbow, and then away from you. Inhale back to center, squeeze the pillow to the left, up toward the elbow, and then away from you. Keep that right shoulder blade down. Oh dear. Inhale back to center and lower them toward the earth. Inhale, center to the right, up toward the elbow, away from you. Inhale, center toward the left, up toward the elbow, and then away from you. Inhale, center, squeeze, curl head, neck, and shoulders up. Squeeze the pillow. Imagine lifting your tail, drawing your belly in. Inhale, come down. Exhale, curl up. Squeeze, and imagine lifting the tail up. Inhale, come down. Squeeze, lift the head, draw the belly in. Try to lift the tail. One more. Inhale down. Exhale, lift, squeeze, and then release. Now, placing your feet quite wide, we'll windshield. Wiper the legs side to side, side to side, side to side. Next time they're to the right, we'll keep them that way. Where you might stay, or you might place your left foot on your outer right thigh and drawing the belly in. And then we'll windshield wiper again, feet are wide. Legs might stay to the right, just like that, or you can pick up your right foot, place it on your outer left thigh, draw the belly in. Great, coming back to center, take your right leg up to the sky. Left knee can remain bent, foot flat, or you can straighten the leg, and we're gonna start really slow, small circles, really slow, small circles. Medium circles. Large circles. Large circles the other direction. Medium circles. Small circles. And then half happy baby with this leg. So you might not reach for your foot. It'd be fine to grab behind your knee or your ankle or your shin. You might straighten your left leg. I conveniently have a block placed here, which is really nice. Take a deep breath in, long breath out. Now, We're gonna hold on to this right leg. We're gonna curl head, neck, and shoulders up. Lift your leg, your left leg. Reach for your foot, reach for your foot. Draw your belly and reach, reach, reach. And come down. Leg down, head down. We're still in half happy baby on the right. 2 more breaths. And then release that leg. Left leg goes up. Right knee can remain bent, or you can straighten the leg. Small circles, one direction, slow and small. I can feel myself wanting to hurry this up. Yeah. Slowing down makes us use the muscles that don't get to work. We'll go even, but medium circles, a little bigger. All those stabilizing muscles where when we kind of rush, the big muscles take over. We slow down and uh-oh. Things seem more challenging sometimes when we slow down. All right, large circles. And then large the other direction. And medium. And small. And then half happy baby on this side. Maybe you reach for your foot. Maybe you reach for your shin. You might straighten that right leg. You might have a block there, which is very convenient. And then we'll curl head, neck, and shoulders up. You could always support your head or reach your right hand towards your right leg. Lift your right leg. Draw the belly and reach, 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 reach. And then come down. A few more breaths here. Half happy baby. Great, my dears. We'll release. We're going to come up and over onto hands and knees. So you might see me today as I go through my flow. I'm going to hold plank on blocks because it's super stabilizing for the shoulders and actually really strengthening for the core and helpful for the low back. So if you had blocks, you could do that too. They could be on this kind of medium setting here. Or you could always do plank on your forearms with knees down, whatever, just to allow you to feel like you have agency over your practice. You do what your body wants. From hands and knees, we'll inhale to cow, drawing the shoulders away from the ear, arching the spine, and kind of swaying the back. And then flexion of the spine, cat pose. We'll stay here, take a deep breath into the back body. And then back to cow. Inhale here in cow. Exhale, cat. Stay for your inhale in cat. Exhale back to cow. One more time. Inhale here. Exhale, cat. Inhale here. And back to cow. Toes are tucked under. Downward facing dog, where you might pedal. You might sway. You might bend your knees generously. Lifting your sitting bones, you might kind of shake your butt side to side. And then here, let's do a few shoulder rolls, trying to get the shoulders away from the ears. 2 more big breaths. All right, leg goes high. Bend your knee and spin your hip open. 3 hip circles here. They could be small. They could be larger, but try to break as slow as possible, yeah? And the other way. Lift the leg up and step that foot forward between your hands or getting it there. If it doesn't go all the way there, we're going to dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. And then straighten that front leg. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Inhale, draw the right hip back and engage the back thigh and lift it up and push through the back heel. Bring the heart forward, breathe in. Step forward and fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise up, inhale. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plank pose. So you might hold plank like me, or you might shift forward, lower halfway or all the way to the floor, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Left leg lift. Bend the knee, spin the hip open. 3 kind of slow hip circles. They could be small or large. 3 the other way. Lift the leg up and step the foot forward. Here's where blocks can help some of us to get the foot more forward. Dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten the left leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Inhale here. Straighten the leg. Inhale here. Bend that front knee. Draw the left hip back a little. Engage the right quad. Lift the kneecap. Push through the back heel. Breathe in. Step forward and fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Rise up, inhale. Mountain pose. Arms up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Long spine, inhale. Plank. Maybe chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Meeting in downward facing dog. Right leg lift. Bend the knee, spin the hip open. Breathe in here. Take the knee now towards your belly, chest, or even your nose. Hover forward. Lift. Take it across your body towards your left arm. Lift. Towards your right arm. Lift. Step the foot forward. Dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Look forward, engage your thighs. Step forward and fold. Rise up. Mountain pose. Arms up. Fold forward. long spine. Plank. Maybe chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. Left leg lift. Bend the knee, bend the hip open. Breathe in. Draw the knee toward your belly, chest, or nose. Lift. Take your left knee toward your right arm. Lift. Toward your left arm. Lift. Step the foot forward. Dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten that front leg. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Breathe in. Step forward and fold. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Rise up. Mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Hold plank or chaturanga. Breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Right leg is high. Bend the knee, bend the hip open. Breathe in here. Take your right knee toward your nose. Now slightly left, slightly right, slightly left, slightly right, slightly left, slightly right. Lift it up. Step it forward. Gaze forward. Step forward and fold. Rise up. Mountain pose. Arms up, inhale. Fold forward. Long spine. Plank or chaturanga. Inhale here. Knee and down dog. Left leg up. Draw the knee in toward your belly, chest, or nose. Slightly right. Slightly left. Slightly right. Slightly left. Slightly right. Slightly left. Lift it up. Step it forward. Gaze forward, inhale. Step forward and fold. Rise. Mountain pose. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hold plank or chaturanga to up dog, or any variation there with him. Meeting in down dog. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up. Mountain pose. Arms up, inhale. Hold forward. Long spine, inhale. Your version of chaturanga or plank. Even cow and cat would be great, or knees, chest, chin. We'll meet in down dog. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up. Mountain pose. 5 more. Inhale, arms up. Fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Your flow, back to down dog. Walk or hop to the top. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Rise up, inhale. Mountain pose. Arms up, inhale. Hold on forward. Look to the horizon, breathe in. Chaturanga or anything else. Meeting in down dog for a few breaths. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise on up. Mountain pose. Arms up, inhale. Fold forward. Long spine. Chaturanga. Meet in down dog. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Rise up. Mountain pose. 2 more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Long spine. Your flow. Walk or hop. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Rise up. Palms pass through the heart mountain. Last one. Inhale, reach arms up. Fold forward. Long spine. Steady as she goes. Down dog, 5 breaths. Walk or hop, my dears. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Rise up. Mountain pose. Few breaths here. So if you normally have your feet hip distance, maybe try to bring your big toes together, heels apart, see how that feels. If you normally have that, maybe heel toe, feet wider, see how that feels. What allows you to feel grounded and steady, balanced from side to side. A few more breaths. Hands to your hips, right knee lift. We're gonna fly that leg back, but keep the knee bent like you're gonna kick your butt. At the very end, straighten that right leg, step it back, crescent lunge. Bending the back knee, you can have a shorter stance. Hip scissor back to front. Reach the arms up. Lift through the heart, draw the belly in. And then maybe straighten the back leg, maybe push through the heel, maybe kind of lifting that quad like we were doing at the first part of practice. Breathe in. Straighten that front leg, fold forward. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Look forward. Maybe have blocks. Lift the right leg. Draw the knee in toward your belly, chest, or nose. Lengthen it out. Gather it in. Lengthen out. Gather in. Now lengthen out. Shiva squat. So the right knee comes behind the left. You squat down a little. Maybe hands come away. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, lengthen. Stay here and start to open your hips for half moon from the ground up. Engage your left glute. Both hands down. Place that back heel down, heel to heel alignment. Right toes face out to the right, but like, 2 o'clock. Lengthen through the heart. Draw the left hip back, draw the belly in. You might have a block nearby or something to place your right hand onto. Left hand goes to your sacrum, hip, or up, revolve triangle. Weight in that back heel. Draw the left hip back. Bow forward over that front leg. Plank. Maybe stay or chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Meeting in down dog. 5 breaths. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up. Mountain pose. And then hands to your hips. Left knee lift. Keep the knee bent, like you're gonna kick your butt, fly it back. Lengthen the leg out. Crescent lunge, back knee bends a little. Can be a shorter stance. Lift through the heart, shoulders down. Maybe starting to straighten the back leg, push through the heel. Deep breath in. Straighten the front leg, bow forward over it. Breathe. Bend the front knee slightly, look forward. You might have block or couch. Lift the left leg up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw the knee in toward your chest. Lengthen. Gather it in. Lengthen. Gather it in. Lengthen out. And then Shiva squat. Lengthen. Shiva squat. Lengthen. Shiva squat. Now lengthen. And begin to really feel your right hip opening half moon. Engage those right glutes. Oof. And then placing both hands down, left foot comes back, so kind of, maybe 3 feet. Pyramid legs, back toes are like 11 o'clock. We'll fold forward. As you're folding forward, kind of draw that right hip back. And then we'll lengthen out. A block might be closed. Right hand goes to the hip or the sacrum or even the sky revolve triangle. Weight in both feet. And then we'll fold forward and breathe. Plank, maybe chaturanga, cobra or up dog, down dog, or sit back on your heels, or child's pose. All right, my dears, we're gonna come to squat. You could walk or hop or set yourself up. So for some of us, it's just our anatomy. It's relatively okay to stay here. If that's not true for you, place blocks under your sacrum if you want, because we're gonna focus on breathing into the back and kind of rounding the back, drawing the belly in, maybe bringing your chin toward your chest. And really big breaths here into the mid back, the upper back. And then bring the heart forward, shoulders down. So it's almost like cow and cat. You can feel your lats engage here as the sternum lifts. And then again, we're rounding the spine, maybe even reaching forward, breathing into the back. And then elbows toward those inner thighs, kind of a cow shape to the upper back, heart lifts up. Right, my dears, we're going to place our hands on the floor and fold forward in a wide-legged forward fold. So I can feel my mid back even here. It's probably just where I'm tight. A lot of people would probably feel hamstrings. But if you can, direct some inhales into that mid to upper back. Maybe to help you feel it if you don't, hands behind the head, neck long. And then we'll make our way, however that looks, back to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Draw that knee forward for pigeon. So the idea with pigeon is to get your weight back far enough. And trust me, it's maybe not a better thing if your hip goes to the floor. It might mean that you can easily dump into your joints like me. So you might place a block or a pillow underneath your hip, or if that right hip does come to the floor, you might use blocks to walk yourself up right a little bit more. Shoulders back over the ears. I even feel my abs stretching a bit here. And definitely the front of that left hip, the psoas. So let's stay here a couple breaths. And then look over the right shoulder. And as you look over the right shoulder, you might come onto your left forearm, maybe onto a block. That should really bring you into that right hip. Is that true? And then maybe both forearms come to blocks or the floor, or you create a pillow for your head. 5 to 10, well, maybe even longer. We'll just breathe here. So pigeon is a checkout pose for me and probably for a lot of folks because it's usually not very comfortable. And that's, for some of us, a signal to leave our body, dissociate. So my invitation is to try to be present, because remember, we were saying at the beginning of class that being grounded really means being present. How can we train ourselves to be grounded even when we're uncomfortable in an argument, let's say, or feeling some kind of way? We can start to train ourselves to breathe and remain present. Oof, now that's how we create peace in the world. Good in theory, challenging in practice. I invite you to sway a little bit to keep yourself present and in that right outer hip, left front of the hip. And focus on your breath. And then we'll come up. And come back to down dog, however that looks for you. So maybe you're coming through hands and knees. Some folks like to go back through three-legged dog. That was definitely my routine for many years. Now I find it more useful just to kind of sway here. But again, I'm an open-hipped girl, and I tend to move toward what is already easy for me. You know, I don't know if you've ever done that, but we tend to crave certain things and have aversion for others. So sometimes it's good to change it up just so we develop less aversion and less craving. Down dog when you're ready. Left leg lift. Pigeon pose. So again, getting our weight far back enough is the idea here. Or maybe we can even come up onto blocks or that front leg, drawing the left hip back, feeling the heart lift a bit. Maybe looking left, oh dear. Coming onto the right forearm, maybe on a block or the floor. And then the left. Or you might say, I like to pull my heart forward here. That can be a challenge. Or just placing your sweet head down, maybe creating a little cradle. And again, we'll challenge ourselves to stay present and not check out here, especially if it's not comfortable. But I think even if tension is relatively not a hard pose in your body, it's important to notice when we check out. It's really helpful in clear and nonviolent communication to check in when we're not feeling comfortable or check in when we do dissociate. Maybe something's not even comfortable, but it's so familiar that you can check out, and then you're not fully present. I don't know. What do you think? Noticing what helps you check out, right? What's the habit? What's the pattern there? Is it familiarity? Is familiarity perceived boredom? And so, of course, you can go back to that down dog if you like to shake it out, or you might just sit off onto that left hip and swing the right leg around. And then we're going to end up on our backs. Here we are on our backs, and we'll do a few windshield wipers of our legs, and we'll just notice how we feel here. You might touch your belly, give it a little rub. You might touch your hips, notice the movement there. Does it feel easeful? Does it feel clunky? Does it feel like it's changed at all? And then again, both knees to the right. You might stay there, or you might pick up your right foot, place it on your outer left thigh, down by the knee, draw the belly in. Release that side, windshield wiper a little bit. Let both knees come to the left. You might stay or pick up that left foot, stretching that right side. Sometimes I like to kind of lift my ribs up a little so I feel the stretch in the obliques. See what works for you. And then for final poses today, you might come to shoulder stand if that feels nourishing in your body, and it does for some folks. For me, it definitely does not. And so I like to place one or even two blocks under the sacrum, legs up to the sky. So since this will be the final pose, you could put an extra layer of clothing on if you wanted. So I'll demo how to, if you have two blocks, of course, better with the cork blocks because they're a little more sturdy. Sometimes those foam blocks feel a little bit like they're, at least for me, like they won't support me. So if you can get two blocks on the lowest setting stacked, you have to make sure that they're, pretty aligned under the sacrum. That can be a great height to wiggle your shoulders underneath you and to get all the benefit of shoulder stand without any neck strain, or for me, it's really about my body feeling like I can breathe. Nice to breathe. I notice for me, and maybe this is true for you or not, that it's hard sometimes for me to let go of Ujjayi. But now would be a time, maybe even to exhale through the mouth, and to begin to let the breath be natural and effortless. And if that feels challenging, maybe come out of shoulder stand and into this pose of Prita Karani, blocks under the sacrum, legs up, or legs up the wall. Let the breath be your guide. Can you breathe in this pose? I know I had a request for upper back. I'm not sure if your body can go to plow pose, but that is one of the biggest mid-back, upper back stretches. And so plow pose is, from shoulder stand, your toes go overhead. Maybe all the way to the floor behind you. You flex your feet. Again, so we're creating that kind of flexion in the spine. Weight supporting pose, definitely not for everybody. I think plow is an advanced pose and not for all body types at all, more so than shoulder stand. So again, see where you are in your body. There's no place to get. There's nowhere to go. There isn't a pose that's better than the other. And when you're ready, we'll come to the resting pose. So some folks like to roll down out of shoulder stand and go to fish. If you were like me and you had a block under your sacrum, you might now do supported fish, which is awesome. Block under the shoulder blades, and maybe even another under the head, or a pillow for even more comfort. Legs could be straight or knees bent. Knees could fall toward each other. When you're ready, rise back to a seated pose. And just taking a moment here to feel our back and our body and our legs and our hips. Notice our breath and notice if our nervous system or our mind is even just a tiny bit more settled. And you're able to sit with more ease. And that could be physical ease or just less mind wandering. Notice where you feel your breath now, the quality of that breath. Is it warm or cool, smooth or choppy, shallow or deep, short or long? And bring our palms to our heart in any shape that suits us right now. Maybe you set an intention for the rest of your day. Mine is to remain present with whatever arises. One Om together. Ah. In the spirit of peace, we say Shanti, Shalom, Salam, Amani, Maluhia, Yirini, Shiakan, Jam, Pache, Paz. In the spirit of our collective liberation, we say Aho, Ashe, Amin, Amen, blessed be, Kapu Aloha, In Lak'ech, Satnam, Namaste, Black Lives Matter.